Hello and welcome back to the Aqua-Tech Sales and Marketing YouTube channel. My name is Matthew Pottins and I am your host. Today we're going to be talking about flow rates or flow capabilities of the Epic boiler. Now we're so used to using primary, secondary piping that we've almost forgotten about system flow. Well, let's take a look and see if we can actually do that with some of the products that we carry. So this is the Epic boiler manual. It encompasses the boiler as well as the combi. And what we're looking at here is an Epic boiler with an air handler, and it's piped directly into that air handler without closely spaced tees. So typically in the last 20 or so years, we've seen closely spaced tees here, and we've seen a pump coming back. Well, excuse that pump coming back to the boiler. But with the low resistance heat exchangers inside these units, the fire tube, if you will, because there's such a little restriction with these units, and on the combis there's a built-in pump, we can actually get rid of these closely spaced tees and this additional pump here. And so that's what we're going to talk about. There's a reason why in our manual we show that we can pump directly out of their unit into the air handler and back to the unit. Now let's go down here and look at our flow rates. So the maximum flow rate of the Epic boiler on the 199 is 19 gallons per minute. The minimum is 1.5 gallons per minute. That's a pretty large range of flow rates to work with. On the smallest boiler, we have 17 gallons per minute, and on low fire, our lowest range is 1 gallon per minute. And again, because of that heat exchanger has such low resistance, we can sort of have variable flow through that heat exchanger. And down here, we can see the recommended pumps. Now, because we're Bell & Gossett reps, we're going to focus on this box right here. Okay, so we can see that we have a large range of pumps that can actually work pretty well with each of our Epic boiler sizes and have this this type of application. But again, when we go back to the combi side, we can do this as well, and we'll look at the pump that comes with the combi boiler, and we can see that the maximum flow rate that we have on that pump is about 20 gallons per minute, and the maximum head we have is about 20, let's call it 7 feet ahead. This is a pretty large range for us to work with. So let's say, for example, in the Toronto market, Ontario, and I would assume the rest of Canada, and probably North America, a very common new application is a combi boiler satisfying the domestic load and doing a small run of in-floor heating for the basement. Well, chances are that in-floor heating could be satisfied by somewhere in this range, 20 feet ahead at 5 GPM, or 10 feet ahead at 10 GPM, or 15 GPM, whatever it might be. But I think what we should do is really start to focus on this, because that pump inside the combi is quite powerful, and if you know what kind of flow rates and head losses you're working with, it could be very beneficial to you as an installer and to the homeowner, because you could show them that there will be cost savings, and it could be an easier install, which is cost savings. It's just really something to keep in mind, and don't be afraid to study these charts. They're pretty important. They provide a lot of useful information. And I've seen a lot of jobs that are now piped in this fashion, right? No more closely spaced tees if we don't need it. Let's just focus on this pump right here and make things simple. Thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something. I think it's important to know the capabilities of the pump and the components that are inside the combi boiler or our Lochinvar Epic boiler. This way you can actually make use of it, because otherwise, what's the point? You're just going to buy a product, you're going to install it the same way you install every other product. Well, now you have an idea of maybe an advantage you might have within a Lochinvar Epic. So once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, provide feedback, like, and we'll keep going from here.